We welcome you to another live edition of The Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Oh yeah, just what they need, but then they fed me lies. It comes as no surprise that we still holding on, and fear will take it over. They said we don't belong. We will not on the dough, we will not take a no. You will not gain control, cause maybe this is just the way that we roll. So just go, we will not anymore, cause maybe this is just the way that we roll.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the episode of the Blitz, Week 9 NFL. Gonna be absolutely crazy today. Bonker games today. I'm excited. Nate's my boy, my co-host for the Blitz. Man, oh man, got a lot to get into, got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So we got some, by the way, real quick, just look at that bottom ticker. Give us your questions. Give us your comments. Who to start, who to sit, what trades you're looking at, because that trade deadline is getting near for a lot of leagues. And we'll give you the best to give you those answers as we go on around the show. Don't be shy. No question is dumb.
Except for the dumb ones.
Except for the dumb ones. Yeah, that's what we do here. Yeah, man. So we're going to get through our injury report today like we always do. I'll zoom it up for y'all real quick. But some big news came out this morning that Isaiah Pacheco, the Kansas City running back who has been out since week 2, he is expected to resume practicing in 2 to 3 weeks and is tracking toward return from injury reserve in late November. Obviously, we all know he broke his fibula, got a surgery literally like 3 days later. This is a quick process of a healing process, but it's going to pay dividends, right, for Kansas City.
For sure. Yeah, this is super fantasy relevant. My advice would be to the Kareem Hunt managers at the moment. If you do have Pacheco on your IR, then you're keeping Hunt. If you don't, I'd look to trade Hunt to the Pacheco manager for maybe someone like a Najee Harris, someone like that who can give you year-long stability, because in a couple of weeks, Kareem Hunt's basically going to go back to irrelevant.
Agree. 1,000% agree with you. Yeah, It's crazy. It's crazy how sorry, my kids are crazy. How things like that timeline changes so quick. So yeah, it's gonna be absolutely insane how that goes. How do we feel about this, Nate? Dak Moss is out, and now we're gonna have Chase Brown the entire time. This is huge for Chase Brown owners.
Yeah, massive. I expect a massive game from him. This Vegas defense is nothing. Like, this Vegas defense is like Swiss cheese. So I think Chase Brown, especially in a PPR, just going to absolutely eat today. T. Higgins out. You're just going to see it's going to be the Chase Brown and Jamar Chase show, the Chase show, and then maybe a little sprinkle of Mike Gesicki in there.
Yeah, a lot of Joe Burrow too.
Sure.
I'm crazy about him today in his matchup against the weak Raiders defense. So that's one of my big must starts this week. If 2 quarterback leagues, you got a third quarterback, dude, you better keep on putting Joe Burrow in because he's going to absolutely eat that defense today against the Raiders.
Absolutely.
Deontay Johnson, not an injury report, but he's going to be on a snap count 10 to 15. I don't believe these, Nate. I never believe in these snap counts, especially for guys who are not hurt.
I think it's maybe just learning the playbook. I don't think he's immediately fantasy relevant. This news, it was big for a lot of people. It was just not really my favorite thing. I don't really love the landing spot. I think it's a small pie that you're getting a bigger piece of, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to be inconsistent, a la Zay Flowers, who's also super inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree with you. Scott, Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn has announced that Brian Robinson Jr. will be full ahead today.
Okay.
So
Wow, that's
Austin
big.
Eckler users out there, now is the time to probably put him back on the bench if you have no one else, if you have someone a little bit better. Because Brian Robinson is a full train and a full load to go today. So yeah, that's good news for Robertson Jr. Managers out there. So this is that's good for I think that's also good for Jaden Daniels. So
Yes, agree.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars recently came out and had a huge blow to their receiving core as Christian Kirk is out for the year with a broken collarbone. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I know it sucks because you guys are rumored to get him. Gabe Davis now looks like he's going to be sitting. Don't have the official report yet if he is, but he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. That leaves Jacksonville with another guy who has chest issues, but Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram, that's all they got.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, you have to put him in your lineup. I don't care if you have Evan Ingram and you're also starting Trey McBride. You put Evan Ingram in your flex today. Like, he is that much of a weapon to this offense. You saw it in times last year when Christian Kirk was missing games. Evan Ingram fills that middle of the field void that Trevor Lawrence looks to so often. Got to start him today.
Yeah, I agree with you. Travis Etienne, it looks like him and Tank Bigsby are good to go today. They're gonna look at more of a game time decision. So be careful with Etienne and be careful with Bigsby. I lean more with Bigsby, but I sat both. Nate, I instead went with Chase Brown, obviously.
100% agree with you. Yeah,
scares
I think
me.
you got to sit
the whole
those
backfield
guys.
scares me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This is crazy because Travis Etienne was absolute fantasy darling last year. So it's just crazy how much of a downfall he's had.
Massive. Yeah, it's like a massive fall from grace. It feels weird, even in Dynasty. As a Dynasty owner, you are just scrambling. Like, do you trade Travis Etienne for pennies on the dollar now? It's crazy.
Right. In irrelevant news, Will Levis is expected to miss another game.
It's relevant for my team in our league. It's relevant for me. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. I'm sorry that I pushed the nerve. At least you're winning and I'm not. So there's that. So with that being the case, it looks like Tyler Boyd is playing today for those deep rosters, but Mason Rudolph is starting today against your New England Patriots.
Yeah, as a Patriots fan, I feel pretty good about this game. Maybe I'm setting myself up for a major letdown, but I like my Patriots options in this game, and the Patriots have a decent defense. I think they can turn it on when needed. So I think that this game against Tennessee, we're going to see some Ramondre Stevenson. We'll talk about him later.
Yeah, definitely. And Josh Jacobs likely to suit up today. No big deal right there for everybody. Xavier Leggett, obviously, with Deontay Johnson gone, they need some targets to be shared. I think him and Adam Thielen, who returns from IR, we're going to have those two guys going to be lining up. I'm staying away from Carolina, just like last week. We talked about it. Don't want to deal with it with Bryce Young now taking the help.
Yep.
Tony Pollard turning towards playing today. Here's some big one here. Rams, Puka Nuka got a scare a couple of days ago at practice. His knee looks like he's good to go for today. Should we have any alarms with Puka?
No, but I am alarmed that you pronounce his last name Nuka. So I'm going to start calling him Puka Nuka now because that's an awesome nickname.
Nuka.
No, I think you play him.
That's pretty much it for all the major stuff for today.
Yeah, fairly light on the news today, which is great for your roster.
Very light.
Yeah.
That's relevant if you're lining up Ridley. Yes, that is true, my boy. That is true.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lots of targets start of the week last week, and probably another start of the week this week.
Yep. So Nick texted me last night, and he was like, listen, let's talk about rookies and how they're performing at each position so far. Who can make a second half jump to leap up, surprise some people in fantasy, and who's going to fall apart. So let's start at quarterbacks because that's where we love to start all the time.
Yep.
Caleb Williams. Are we second half? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling a little timid after last week because it was absolutely miserable, his play against Washington? Or is he just going to stay stagnant the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty good as far as a rookie goes. He's got great weapons around him. I'm a little more timid because I feel like there's better options out there. Like you can get a Sam Darnold still on the waiver wire, which is crazy to me, and start him. And I feel like he's a long-term asset that's more startable than Caleb Williams. But I think in a pinch in those 2 quarterback leagues, I think that he definitely should be in your lineup. He's proved that he can be fantasy relevant right out the gate. That's obviously a great dynasty asset. You drafted him early. So I think that he's going to be super relevant. Next guy I wanted to bring up right before, I know we're definitely going to talk Jaden Daniels, of course. That'll probably be left for a little bit later. I want your opinion on Drake May, fantasy-wise. What do you think, Drake May?
It's hard to determine what we could get out of Drake May because New England is such it's so like just inconsistent offensively.
Yeah. It's garbage. It's garbage on offense. Yeah.
Tomorrow Douglas had that big game, and then all of a sudden it's just been Drake May's had a concussion.
Gonna play today.
Is
relevant news. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna keep him stagnant. I don't think he's gonna drop.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna stay the 10 to 15 range.
Okay.
Not really something that I would clamor on to, besides if you need him in a 2 quarterback lead and he has a good matchup. The benefit for him is that the schedule is a little bit more favorable for him. You got Miami still and all that and all those type of games, but I'm not going to say I'm going to leap him because of just the lack of offensive skill players on the outside.
Yeah.
That's my issue. There's something New England needs to do and invest. I feel like they found a guy in him, but they need to find someone that could complement his traits and his skill set and everything that he could be, because I see something good with him. I like him.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Anthony Richardson. He's not a rookie. He should be a rookie. I mean, he didn't
basically rookie last year. Basically rookie season. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Who am I forgetting?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. What's your thoughts?
Guy's a stud. Guy's is such a stud. The only thing that gives me pause in the later half of the year is their schedule goes from really soft to like very difficult. They have a very difficult schedule at the end of the season. I myself am a Jaden Daniels owner in my main league. I'm freaking out a little bit right now because my other option this week is Dak. And
we'll talk about him next.
Yeah, we'll talk about that guy next. He's good.
Pollard or Rashad White? Rashad White's going against Kansas City on Monday, obviously. And Pollard's going against New England.
Tony Pollard. That's my thought. New England's defense a little bit more susceptible to the run. I think with Mason Rudolph in there, it's probably better off for fantasy.
1,000%. Louis, appreciate the comment. Thank you for joining the show. Definitely, I think Nate and I and the Blitz will back up by saying Tony Pollard against New England for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's one for fantasy quarterback rankings for Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to stay one the entire season. He has a tough second half, but I think he separated himself enough to he'll be able to finish out as the number one quarterback for rookies in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I agree
Louis,
with you.
thank you, man. Legit. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you, Louis.
Man.
Yeah, man, guys, keep us giving us your questions, comments. We have about there's like 16 people are watching, man. We appreciate you guys watching, and give us any questions you have for fantasy related. We'd love to hear to help you out.
Yep. I got one for you, Drew.
David. What's up?
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Jane Daniels
Mm-hmm.
or Dak Prescott this week, today?
Dak is playing. Was he playing Atlanta?
Atlanta.
And then Jaden Daniels is playing who?
I don't know who the Commanders. Giants.
Giants. Oh, Jaden Daniels. Easy.
Okay.
Easy. I wouldn't
That's
even
what I thought.
leave me a question. Bo Nix. Nate. Bo Nix. Probably one of the bigger surprisements of the year, especially in fantasy. We just talked about. Me and my boys just talked about. We did our segment where waiver wire pickups of the year so far. Bo Nix might be the waiver wire pickup of the year for quarterbacks because besides Sam Darnold, he's right there.
Yeah, I agree. He is, to me, Drew Lock with a brain. He's got the arm, he's got the athletic talent, and then Drew Lock could just never really put it together. With the just the mental component, he couldn't figure out defenses, and I feel like Bo Nix has that.
A win comment. That's a win comment. It's a win comment.
Yeah, it's Drew Lock with a brain. That's what he reminds me of, and I like Drew Lock. The arm and the legs. Bo Nix is super fantasy relevant, man. Like, you got to have him on a roster, I think, as a backup quarterback, even in 2 quarterback leagues. If you're carrying 2 quarterbacks and only starting one, I think you got to start Bo Nix some weeks.
Tibbs is back for New York Giants. They can go after the quarterback, whereas in Atlanta, can't. It's a toss-up based on matchup, in my opinion. That's fair.
Yep, that is
I'm
fair.
still going Jaden Daniels just because of there's a running game. Their offensive line is way better. The receivers, I know Dak has Lamb, but the fact that Ferguson hasn't shown up, Tolbert has been inexcusable the last 3 weeks. You have dogs. Zach Ertz is another streaming good tight end to have. Terry McLaurin has been absolutely phenomenal. Brian Robinson Jr. I take him. I take that offense over Dallas's offense any day of the week.
All right, I'm putting that in my lineup as we speak. Then that's a Drew special. Then
there you go. Comes once a week. Let's go to running backs. Who's been your top dog for rookies at running back?
Man, the rookie class at running back is tough this year. Yeah, like all the big options. Jonathan Brooks still hurt. So they opened up his practice window like a week back, maybe. He's still lingering with that. I mean, he had a massive knee issue in college, like a big injury. Like, we thought maybe he was never going to play football again, type big. And he's come back through that, which is awesome. But rookie running back class so underwhelming. I think you have to look at Trey Benson right now. With James Conner, just because James Conner has never, ever in his career played a full season. You can count on it. I think that Trey Benson, if you've got an empty roster spot at the end of your bench, I think that's somebody that you need to stash when a Conner inevitably misses a game or 3 due to like a high ankle sprain. We don't root for injuries. We don't pray for injuries, but injuries are a part of the game, and we have to prepare for them. And that's what makes you a good fantasy player. So that's kind of my summation at running back for rookies. What are thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's the same. It's been absolutely god awful. Looking at the list, you got guys who it just the spots that they went to were just nothing that you were like, okay, well, that's who I want. Like that's who I need. My first thought is Braylon Allen for the Jets, but he's been absolutely non-existent these last month. But the first month he absolutely came out of like a cannon, and now they're trying to first of all, the Jets are trying to win, so Breece Hall is going to have the snap counts way above now than it was back then. But man, just off the hit, Jonathan Brooks. Obviously, we knew that he wasn't going to play this year or much of, but he was the guy that everybody thought was going to be the dude. And Chuba Hubbard is like, for the second straight year, he's been more than fantasy relevant. So I don't know what they're going to do there in Carolina. Miles Sanders is supposed to be in a trade target. We'll see what happens. Trey Benson from Arizona. Can't really do much with James Conner and having another good year. So it's nothing we can do in Arizona. Blake Corum, he's not going to see the light of day. Dude, Kyron Williams, that's his till he gets hurt. Knock on wood, and he never does. I love that those reports came out where Blake Corum was going to be splitting a lot with. I mean, Kyron
punt return news.
Yeah, punt return. I told people to chill out. Chill out. And the last one is Jalen Wright, man, Miami. I thought he could have been, if I had a pick, he would be the guy, just because of the history of what we had last year with AJ. He's banged up easily, man. So I thought Wright might have been the dude to leapfrog, especially with Mostert out. And he really didn't do much besides one game. So, running back's been a disaster.
Gross. Yeah.
Very gross. Receivers.
This is like going from valley to peak, man. This is crazy. Talking rookie receivers. Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors.
Animal. Rest of the season. If he has a down game, he's a trade for target immediately. He's going to get every target in this offense. I don't care if it's Drew Lock without a brain, which is Drew Lock. I don't care if it's Daniel Jones, who's Drew Lock without talent. I don't care who it is throwing on the ball. This guy is unreal. He is Jamar Chase level of good. He's amazing. Marv, I think, is a sneaky trade for a target. Marvin Harrison, he slow start weirdly. I don't understand if it's their offense, if it's Gannon, if it's the route push that they have him on, because he's not even. He's either running nines or he's running curls or he's running slants. He's running 3 routes. That's it. Like, they're not scheming things open for him. It's such a weird.
That's a lot of Duke Murray. That's a lot of Duke Murray.
Yeah, he's
very selective in his passing and what he likes to throw. That's not on MHJ. Well, since you brought him up, I will talk about the fact that I think MHJ will be the dog at the end of the season. That's my bold predict. I think he's going to leapfrog Neighbors as the number 1 receiver for rookies. What we saw these last 2 weeks, I think the target share, the snap share, the production, and all that stuff. I think they're building the chemistry. It's hard. I wouldn't bet money on it because Neighbors really doesn't have anything that's taken away from his targets. Wandale Robinson has been. He was this when Neighbors was gone for the 2 weeks of the concussion, but Darius Slayton, nothing. Tight end, nothing. Running backs, I mean, Tracy probably is the pickup of the year for waiver wire for running backs. We talked about it last week. But Arizona, I understand because MSJ has distractions with Trey McBride and James Conner, and you have those 2 dudes, and you have Kyler Murray, the fact that he can run. I really think that Marvin Harrison Jr. in the second half of the season, I think he's going to leapfrog Neighbors if I had to make a bold prediction in this position wise. Let's go to the next one. Lad McConkey.
Ooh, Lad. Your boy.
That's my guy. This wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 for the Chargers.
It's true. It is true.
He's all 3, baby.
That's awesome.
He's all 3. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He is who we thought he was.
Yeah, I mean, what I see from him, once they get that dog outside the numbers, the sky's the limit what he could do in the slot. He reminds me of a more, how do I say this? A more Stroud, like thick Julian Edelman.
Okay.
But but with a way better, crispier route running, and I think Julian might be a little bit faster, but he just reminds me a lot of Edelman. Just to be able to run the post, and his hands, I call it a scissor route, but that route that he caught last week over his shoulders, then he broke and then went. Oh my God, dude, he is
disgusting.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah. And it's great to see a white guy do good every once in a while. So we love it, baby. We love it. We love it. You got one more?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brian Thomas. Yeah. I think rest of the season. I think once you get past this, whatever this chest injury is, once you get past this, I think that he's a go and get. I think that he can definitely start as a flex in your lineups. This Jacksonville team is going to be down a lot in games. They are bad, and they can't really run the football and can't decide who to run the football with. Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., McConkey, MHJ in that order. Wow. Okay. So he disagrees with you, Drew.
That's my brother. That's fine.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Checks out then. Checks out. Yeah. I think you go get Brian Thomas.
Yeah. I do want to say 2 more things.
Okay.
Rome Odunze to the Bears was a mistake. I think it was just what do you call it? A prize
Lapse
that wasn't necessary. The necessity of getting Rome Odunze on the Chicago Bears made no sense whatsoever, because you needed more protection on the interior line to help Caleb. That line is still horrendous by the measures of an NFL offensive line, just like the Houston Texans offensive line is going to really cause problems down the road for CJ Stroud and their championship run, because they got mollywopped on Thursday against the Jets. I'll talk about that later in about 30 minutes. But Rome Odunze has been a mistake. I think he could have benefited at being somewhere else like the Chargers or in the second round or something like that, because we're not seeing much from him, which is kind of shocking because you have Allen and you have DJ Moore, and you tell me you can't get open one-on-one, bro? Like, in Cole Kmet, who is so inconsistent, you have Swift, and you cannot get open. It's confusing to me.
I agree with you.
A guy who a lot of people are not talking about. I think the trade that happened 2 weeks ago is going to pay dividends for him in the long run. That's Keon Coleman. Absolute dog, and a dude that can change the game with the blink of an eye. He is able to, I think his route running needs to be improved. That's why he was such a late first-round pick. But with Amari Cooper, you could tell that this Buffalo offense, it's given me when first Stephon Diggs traded to Buffalo, it's giving me that type of feeling where this offense now is going to explode even more. So all you owners out there that have Keon Coleman, don't even hesitate to start him. He is a must start from now to week 17. It's if you guys play week 17, you weirdos. So it's
Week 17 is normal now because week 18
is that normal now?
Legos.
Okay. So yeah. He
Week
is a
18 's
must
Legos.
start, bro. He's a must start.
Agree
Anything
with
else? You good?
Yeah, we're good. I think we can move on really quickly to tight end. Which is
there's really not much to talk about tight ends.
Yeah, Brock Bowers.
Go ahead and
start
say
him.
what you want to say in your piece on tight ends.
Brock Bowers, start him. That's it. That's literally all I want to say. I just want to tell the people, keep starting him. Like, do not. It's not matchup dependent. It's not quarterback dependent. Start him.
I do want to say in a year or two, probably a year, Ben Sinnott is going to be the dog at Washington when Ertz wants to walk away.
Yeah.
I like Ben Sinnott a lot, dude. I
like that.
I think he's
that
going to
matchup with Jaden Daniels. It reminds me of like a Mark Andrews, Lamar type connection. They can develop over time.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our famous. They are what we thought they were. Week 9, must start, must sit. We had some controversy last week. Had some people message me telling me that we're idiots. That's fine.
Why is that?
We are who we thought they were.
Why is that?
Dave Jr. and Cincy will be a good. Yes, Dave Jr. Yes, good call. All right, Nate. What position you want to start with this week?
Let's go tight end.
Tight end.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Tight end must start of the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, to remind the viewers, we don't pick the obvious choices here. We go a little deep. Okay, so like it's your first time on prom night. We're trying to go deep. Let's go, baby. Hit him with a Nate.
Mike Gesicki against Vegas. That's who I'm starting. T. Higgins missing. Like I said, I think it's going to be the Jamar and the Chase Brown show. It's going to be. I think you can start Mike Gesicki. Maybe 4 for 40 and a touchdown. We take those tight end.
I like that.
Thank you.
Well, we already talked about it, so I'm going to talk about it again. Must start for me this week is going to be
Travis Kelce.
No.
Nice one, Drew.
Zach Ertz gets the New York Giants. Let's go, Zach.
Okay.
Positive vibes. Ton of targets the last 2 weeks from Jaden Daniels. Like I said, they're building that chemistry up between the both of them. You gotta go Zach Ertz here against the Giants. If you need that tight end help, that's a guy that I would go and get. Or if you have him on the bench, I start him. Who'd you sit?
TJ Hawkinson versus Indy. Maybe this is an obvious one to.
You're an ass, bro.
Is that your sit as well?
You're an ass.
Okay, let's do a joint one then. That's okay. We'll talk about it. You don't have to come up with another one. Let's just tell the people. Okay, that's fine. TJ Hawkinson versus Indy. It's to people like you and I, that's an obvious start, or that's an obvious sit. But newer fantasy players who have heard the name may not know, coming off an ACL tear, do not start this man right away. They don't need him right now. Justin Jefferson's a target monster. This offense will work fine with him in it, but you don't need to start him right now. Keep him on your bench a week or two.
I agree.
Right,
Sid, for me this week, man, I'm just sick and tired of having him on my roster, but I have to start him because I have no freaking other tight ends. Jake Ferguson against Atlanta. I'm done. I'm over it, man. The inconsistency between him and dude, he hasn't gone over 10 points. I think since week 1. It's an abysmal of what's been going on in Dallas. And I am so off Dallas unless it's CeeDee Lamb. That's it. That's all. That's all I care about is CeeDee Lamb. That's it.
Right.
Do we have any surprise dark horses for you in this on this team, on this roster?
On which roster? Cowboys?
Tight ends.
Oh, tight ends. Dude, tight ends were rough for me this week. To to be completely honest with you. I'll do the same as I did last week. Juwan Johnson against the Panthers. Derek Carr, safety blanket. Is that your? You're kidding me.
You must be reading our notes on our Facebook group post, dude. What's going on here? My God.
Oh, I'm reading our notes. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings. I think Derek Carr, safety blanket. Panthers are a really susceptible defense, especially to tight ends. Yeah, that's my deep. It's my deep option this week at tight end.
It's great.
Sorry, man. Look, maybe we're
No, there's
meshing.
nothing else.
We're meshing into one person.
We are.
This is what happens when you podcast with somebody.
I'll just say Colby Parkinson against Seattle. It's a guy that I would look at that could be an addition at tight end for anybody that's looking for a tight end to use.
I like that.
Taysom Hill, yeah, that is true. Taysom Hill is back. Juwan Johnson is relevant. That could happen.
True. That's true. That could happen. That could absolutely happen.
All right, let's go to quarterbacks. It's my turn.
Go ahead.
Quarterback must start of the week. Like I told you guys before, we don't pick guys that are obvious, but I think this is going to be a great game for him to come back after being injured. Derek Carr. Go Derek Carr this game against Carolina. Carolina's defense is abysmal, anemic, very trash for the people that don't understand those two words. I'm going to go Derek Carr here. I expect a decent game to get him back on the flow, but I'm going to say he's going to get 3 touchdowns today. Derek Carr. Passing.
All right.
Or I don't think he's going to run, so passing.
Okay.
Who's yours?
All right. I think you're going to like this one. I'm going with Jay Herbo against the Broncos. Yeah, your boy. I think he's finally found his guy.
Broncos, he's playing the Browns.
That's what I said against Denver. The Broncos. The Browns. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what you said, Denver. Must have been moving all day yesterday.
It must have been. That's wild. It must have been moving till like midnight last night. I don't know. Yeah, Jay Herbo against the Browns. This Browns defense is not as scary when they have no offense to back them up. They will bend, and try not to break, and then they will be broken. I think you can start Herbert here. I think he's going to play.
My sit of the week this week is going to be Bo Nix. I think Baltimore is going to come out with a fire after losing last week against Cleveland. There's no way they're going to go back-to-back weeks and have that type of, have that type of game where it can come down the wire. And I need Baltimore to win from personal Charger reasons. But Baltimore, I think, is going to put the smack down on Bo Nix today. I'm not starting any Bronco players this week besides one I have to, and that's Javonte Williams. And I'm so reluctant to start him. But I have to because there's really no one else in the waiver wire I can pick up because I had what's his name on the bye this week? Najee Harris is on the bye.
Oh yeah.
So I had to start him.
Yeah.
Who's your sit?
To turn the ball over against Buffalo. Last time he played Buffalo.
Turn the ball over.
last time he played Buffalo,
my God.
he was having a bad game before he got taken out with a concussion. To his head meeting DeMar Hamlin's heart. Can't believe DeMar Hamlin's heart came out on top of that one. That's wild to me. I don't think he has a good game. I think this Buffalo team is really just starting to figure it out. I think that Tua struggles in his second game back against a team that he does, generally struggle against.
Agree. My dark horse is already played. My dark horse is going to be Aaron Rodgers this week.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fine. I like that. And he did great.
Yeah.
My dark horse, bit of a homer pick, if you want to call it that. I'm going to say Drake May against Tennessee. I think that he can be fairly competent in this game.
Who's your star of the week this week for running back?
I'm going to go with another Patriot. It's Ramondre Stevenson against Tennessee. I think this Titans defense is really weak against the run. I think this Patriots team may get out to a lead in this game. Actually, we may see it. And I think that this team's neutral pass rate is going to be really low. I think we're looking at a lot of carries for Ramondre. This is what they paid him to do. They want him to be the man. They're going to give him the ball. Drew, your running back start of the week.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chuba Hubbard. He's my start of the week this week against New Orleans. I think he. I am so sorry. It's not Chuba Hubbard. Good God. I think it's gonna be Brian Robinson Jr. Now that I know he's playing today, he's gonna be my start of the week this week against the Giants.
New York, yeah.
Still the week for me this week is going to be Rico Dodal for the Cowboys.
Oh, wow, okay.
No Zeke today. Zeke didn't travel. Disciplinary issues might be cut. Corner reports this morning. We're going to go
Good
Rico.
riddance. Yeah, good riddance. My sit of the week is James Conner against Chicago.
Need to. Rob Davis, thank you, man, so much for joining the show. Thank you for the question. Please give us a like and a share, man. We're on every Sunday at 7 in the morning. Need to in my flex, A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Cooper Kupp, Drake London, and McCoy. How the hell do you have all these guys? Good Lord, dude.
That's a wild team. First of all, congratulations on your
PPR?
5 wins. Yeah, probably PPR. I'm going to say
Brown is a must start today against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Lions against the Packers.
Even after that game last week, I think Amon-Ra, you got to put him in your lineup. I think
Drake
it's going to be
going against
game.
Dallas. McLaurin is against the Giants, and then Kupp is against Seattle. Yeah, St. Brown. AJ Brown, St. Brown for me, Rob.
And then what about the flex? Because he's staying need to and his flex.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Cooper Kupp.
That's what I would do.
You agree?
We agree.
Or Drake London. Going against Dallas.
Dude, I know. I want pieces in that game.
Luka's playing today, Rob. So let's go with Drake London just because his target share has been absolutely insane. He's averaging around 8.5, 9 targets the last 2 weeks. I expect that to continue against Dallas. Dallas is terrible. So
I like that.
Chase Brown is the start of the week running back. I love it. I love it.
That.
Both Browns and start 2 and then flex London. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your running back dark horse?
Let's go with Madison against Cincinnati.
He's going to get all the work.
Yep.
It's perfect. I'm going to go Raheem Mostert. I think he's kind of a touchdown machine. Even if I don't like the Dolphins in this game. I like Mostert to score a touchdown.
Real quick because we got to get going. Receivers. Yeah. My start of the week this week for receiver. My guy was gone on Thursday because I'm not gonna pick a Thursday guy. Let's go with. I'm gonna go with a dark horse here. I'm gonna go with not a dark horse, but he's a starter. But I just think something's gonna happen, dude. I'm gonna go Amari Cooper against Miami. Let's go Amari.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna say Michael Pittman against Minnesota. Joe Flacco is here to stay. That's my savior.
Okay.
Joe Flacco.
Okay.
Year 6.
My sit of the week. I just think it's going to be such a crazy loaded game that I don't think he's going to be able to do much. But I feel like I'm going to sit Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be a lot on everything that they can go with. So I'm going to sit with them.
Okay.
Who you got?
I'm going to go Zay Flowers against Denver. Patrick Surtain's back. I think he's going to trail him. Deontay, they say he's going to get limited snaps. I think Zay Flowers is set this week. Your wide receiver dark horse,
Jason.
Nice.
against the Rams. He's been off the last couple of weeks. Still getting a ton of target share. I'm gonna go Jason just because DK's out again, and we should see something with him, man. Something needs to give. So Jason, who's yours?
My dark horse is really a dark horse. I don't even know if people have heard of this guy. I'm gonna go Jalen Coker. And if you don't know who that is a Carolina wide receiver. Yeah, that is a wide receiver out of Carolina. I think that
one of the top waiver pickups.
Yeah, that's 100%. Jalen Coker in your deep leagues.
There it is. Guys, we thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We'll try our best to do better next week. Please like and share and follow the Blitz. We're also on the Sports Box. We're about to have another show here in a little bit. Thank you so much for joining in today. Nate, any final words before we get out of here, brother?
Nothing else. Thank you guys for watching. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. All right, man. We'll talk to you guys next week.
We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation,